Good evening, everyone, and thank you for coming to tonight's version of Gaming Retrospective, brought to you thanks to YouTube channels. My name is Nana D, and tonight I am not joined as usual by the beautiful Nana J. She is in a much warmer room, working on some crossword puzzles. Hopefully you are nice and warm tonight. Here we are in the tens and teens in lovely Missouri. Tonight we're going to be looking at the video game Battlestar Galactica Deadlock, and I'm going to be giving my personal review on this game. Now, I had originally done this review for Twitch TV, the channel I had on it, but anyone that's watched previous episodes understands that I changed channels because of the fact that they don't archive, and you lose the videos after 14 days if you're not a partner. And at this point in time, we're not in a position to monetize our Twitch stream. I mean, we can't even monetize YouTube. We have to hit 10,000 viewers before you do that. So I decided to do this review here. Now, as an original gamer, or an OG gamer, as I like to refer to us as, I am old enough to remember the Battlestar Galactica series, the first one, and the second one. Now, yes, the first one was campy, it was lighthearted. I mean, you had a mechanical dog, you had kids, but at that point in time, comedic television was about all there was on TV. You had Knight Rider, you had the A-Team, you had the Love Boat, you had Battlestar Galactica. There were only 3 main broadcast stations to see this type of stuff on, and they had a lot stricter rules than cable. But even though they had campy, they did have some underlying good storylines. I mean, you had a father and son relationship along with his sister. You had the triple love affair between Starbuck and Cassiopeia and Apollo's sister Athena. You had the story of Cain being found to be alive. There were a lot of, there was the issue of Starbuck going to find his birth father. So there were a lot of issues in that even though they took a lighthearted approach, were actually good storylines. I mean, classic example, in the very beginning, Apollo gets married and finds himself a single parent because she's killed. His wife is killed, and she had a son. So it did have good storylines. Now, when they made the much darker version, there were excellent storylines there. I was a great big fan of that. I loved the spin they did on it. I loved the fact they kept some of the original storylines in it, being, for example, Cain being alive. And it was a fantastic series, so it holds a special place in my heart. Now, I've been playing this game since it came out in the month of December, and I hate to say my review for it is if it was not for the fact that I like achieving completion in the game, I would have put this up weeks ago. Now, Battlestar Galactica never really has had a good game come out. About the only good game I ever played under the Battlestar Galactica banner was a pay-to-win type setup, in which you were either a Viper pilot or you were a Cylon. And you basically, to get you had to pay to win. You had to pay to get the good ships. You had to pay, you could mine and everything else. But it at least had a story to it. And that's what made it an interesting game. Based on the fact that Battlestar Galactica is a series known for storytelling, you would think that they would have a good story in this game. Unfortunately, they do not. I think they get some of their facts mixed up. And I'll explain that here in a moment. One of the things I want to point out is the completion rate of this game, of the campaign mode in itself. To get to chapter 13, or having done chapter 13, is under 5% of all people that have bought this game. Now that tells me it's either A, an extremely hard game, or it's a game that people are getting bored with. As a matter of fact, I am currently on chapter 8 of the game, and that completion rating is about 10%. And it's not because the game is hard. It's because it is not story driven as you would expect. Let's begin with the fact that I think they get their facts mixed up from the very beginning. This is supposed to take place in the first Cylon War. The first Cylon War. Battlestar Galactica has disappeared, and Vice Admiral Kane has taken command of the fleet. The problem here is if we look at, now since the Admiral is a female, we'll look at the second version. Adama was alive during the first Cylon War. He was about Apollo's age. He was in his 20s during the first Cylon War. So Kane, who was younger, wouldn't have been a Vice Admiral. Now, I'm not sure if they're getting it. Now, this is based on actual episodes of Battlestar Galactica, because when they give him his Viper, they scrap his Viper, bring it out to present to Adama. It's pointed out to the fact that he fought in the first Cylon War. With that being said, see, I'd always associated the first Battlestar Galactica with the first Cylon War until that time. But based upon that fact, Galactica should not have disappeared. So I think they're getting some of their facts straight. Let's begin with the fact that this is a turn-based strategy game. Any fan of turn-based strategy games will tell you that a console is not the place for it. Now, there's extra bells and whistles on this game. If you get it on the PC, you can name your ships. But, that's strike one. You turn-based games do not do that good on the platform. Add to the fact that the story is minimal, which you will see I will play for about an hour or so here on this to try to get further. The story is not really captivating. It's very simple. Either go destroy, go escort, or go destroy. There are not a lot of variety of missions. There is not a lot. When you first begin this game, there is not a lot of tutorial. So you're kind of left hanging. I mean, right now I'm fighting to get enough ships up to actually protect my areas, because I had to get these ships, the higher quarter ships. The trophy layout for this, and matter of fact, the only reason I'm still doing this game and haven't rushed through the campaign, is you have the 13 chapters for the campaigns. You get through those, you get trophies for those. You get, there's 3 trophies based on how many enemies you kill, which I think is the hardest trophies in here. The highest one is 500. Now, based on how many enemies you start fight at the beginning, to the harder, the further up the missions you go, you're looking at anywhere from 3 to 5 enemies at a time. So it's going to take approximately 100 missions to get the 500 trophy. Now they do have it to where you can skip past the each mission that's not directly based to your command center. However, I do not think that counts as the 100. So you have to go personally up against 800. As if that wasn't hard enough, like I said, the storyline on this game is not anywhere near you would expect from a brand called Battlestar Galactica. It was very disappointing. The blurbs are basically mission-based. You got to do this, or you got to do that. You have one mission in which you go against the admiral's orders, and you basically get a paragraph, if that, of dialogue, and that's it. The story is very weak compared to what you would expect in a Battlestar Galactica brand. As I said before, the completion rating on this game, just in the 13 missions, is currently on all of PlayStation is 4%, 4.1%. So it is not a game that has kept viewers captivated enough to play. Like I said, the only reason I'm still playing it after a month and a half, is for the completion rating. It's sad that they don't have more in-depth story, which you would expect. It is a turn-based game, so there is that also in regards to turn-based games don't play well on consoles as compared to the options and the customization that you get on the PC. So it's not the greatest of games. You would expect the graphics to be a little bit better. In some ways, this feels to me like this game was originally started with the first Battlestar Galactica, and it was put on a shelf somewhere. And then after the popularity of the second series that they did on Battlestar Galactica, somebody decided to take it out, spruce up the graphics a little bit, and market it. I would not pay full price for this game if I were to consider it. Unfortunately, I did, because this was the first game I wanted to broadcast on when I was doing Twitch. Unfortunately, like I said, my Twitch, they only keep it for 14 days, which is why we decided to come over here to YouTube, excuse me, and because we can catalog these. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and get in here into resume campaign to where I'm currently at. Like I said, if you're a trophy hunter, this game, I feel all the trophies are achievable. You have 13 campaigns. You have a trophy for each campaign getting it completed. You have the what I call the murder ratio, which 500 is the largest one that you have to get. That is going to be a time consumer because it takes approximately about 100 missions, I think, to complete that. And then you have where if you play the skirmish, you play as a Cylons. There's 3 trophies related to doing things as a Cylon, plus winning the battle. And then there's one for winning the skirmish as a Colonial. So, now if you disagree with my review of this game, feel free to leave your comments. I'll be more than happy to respond to all the comments. If you like the concept that we're doing with this channel and with what we've broadcast previously, like I've said before, there's 3 different things all within this channel. There's the life section, which is my life as a transgender, dealing with my wife's health problems, including her Alzheimer's, and life as being a grandparent raising 3 grandkids. So you get a lot of life out of that, and a lot of stuff that people can relate to. We have Game in Retrospective, which we take a look at past and present games. Unfortunately, unfortunately, I had hoped, I like to say past and present classics. I wish I could say that Battlestar Galactica is a classic, but those out there that understand the term bargain bin game, this is one I'd pick up as a bargain bin game just for the trophies, but I would not pick up for an entertainment game. Now, earlier today I did a quick broadcast, and last night I did the broadcast, our premiere broadcast here on YouTube of Game in Perspective, and we presented the COD series, which I feel is a classic. It's a classic of the past, and it's a classic of the future. I think they're doing a lot of good things with that. I'm not sure which game I'm going to feature tomorrow. I'm probably going to feature the new Hitman, because that is a series also. Is it a classic or not? But be sure, if you like the concept, be sure to subscribe to the channel. We'll be coming out with videos at least every night, Friday through Tuesdays, in regards to gaming. We have over 41 games that we want to look at and play through here on the channel. So be sure to check that out. We also have a series coming up, which I may premiere the first episode here on YouTube, of reality gaming, which is being in a non-ordeal ideal situation, with the grandkids being up and awake, being home, the wife being up, life going on, and that way you get some reality of what it's like in this house of a gamer, a transgender gamer. Now, we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm not 100% sure how far I'm going to play through this tonight. Like I said, the only reason I'm still doing it is because of the trophies. I may quit after an hour or so, end this broadcast early. My ideal format for this, I used to do it for 5 hours on Twitch TV. This felt to be a little long, especially since we don't have a viewer base right now. Once we get a viewer base, I might go back to the 5 hours, but I think during the week I'll only broadcast 2 to 3 hours. I think about 2 hours is enough at a time of a walkthrough, because I like doing in the beginning, if you really want to hear our viewpoints and whatnot, be sure to catch when we first come on, because that's usually when I do my intro to the game and I state my opinions on it. But I think we're going to be doing it for about 2 hours for now, a night at the max. That way I can get some off-air game time in and relax, because usually nighttime is the only time I can really relax game-wise, because the kids are in bed. But we're going to go ahead and turn the sound back on here. Now, like I said, I paid the most for this game when I got it. I paid the full price they were asking for when I got it. I wish I hadn't. We do some things out of nostalgia, and that was the biggest thing, was because, I was such a fan of the series. Unfortunately, it doesn't hold up, I feel, as well as it could. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and, I've got to proceed here. I'm probably going to fail here. I think I've got myself in a situation where I just do not have enough chips. I'm trying to rebuild the fleet, and every time I try rebuilding the fleet, I get my ass kicked. The one thing I want to say is it's either in 6 or 7. Make sure you have a full fleet when you go to do it, because if you don't, you're going to start the game outnumbered to begin with. But even then, there's reinforcements that come a second time. There's a couple games on here that couple missions on here that just are meant to be as biased as can be, I tell you, because you begin the game outnumbered, and then even more. Like I believe it was last mission 7, we already started out kind of outnumbered, Cylon to Colonial ratio, but then we were taking place on the planet Caprica, which we're not supposed to be at because of some tension. And so not only do we have Cylons attacking us, we have Colonials attacking us. So, as I stated, some of the ratios in this game just don't make sense. Because the mission, you're only allowed so many ships. So the hardest part you're going to have is really work on building your fleet, balancing your fleet every step you can. I haven't, which is why this game's giving me a harder time than it should. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start this. So right now, what I'm doing is I'm trying to build my fleet. The biggest thing I'm doing is I'm trying to hit all of the individual missions instead of quick playing them, so that I get credit for all of the Cylons that we kill to get that 500 trophy. Because that 500 trophy is probably the hardest. Now, okay, so it looks like we only got 4 that we're up against. I think they get reinforcements in this. Usually the first thing you want to do is get all your squadrons launched. That way they can get ahead, because you can't fire any missiles until you ID at least one of the enemy.
Yes, Commander.
And as I said, this is a being a turn-based, you really have to learn the controls real well to be able to play it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
As I said, we're going to go ahead and get all our Vipers launched. And as I said, I do believe we will have reinforcements show up here, which is going to really mess it up. As I said, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Viper squadrons, command them to take a look at that, and I'm just going to, oops, I got a ship over here. It looks like it's in there. And one thing you have to be careful here is it does,
Understood.
You can crash into your ships if you're not careful. So you really got to pay attention. I've had battles that I was winning, and I'd have my ships too close together, and they would end up crashing, or they'd end up shooting missiles into each other. So you have to be real careful about that. I'm going to go ahead and end that turn here. really got to think 3D when you're
So say we all.
because it'll be very important. It can mean the difference. You can think you're on the same level of them and actually be a little bit higher, and they can get through your bottom shields, and you're thinking right, left, front, back. So it is very important to keep it in mind that this is a 3D type scenario.
Hostile unit. Missiles incoming! Hostile unit identified. Missile tubes prepped. Missile tubes prepped. Understood. Understood.
We're going to go ahead and let this click through.
Missiles incoming! Yes, sir. Yes, Commander.
We're going to have a better fighting chance because we took out their heavy missiles right off the bat. That was the big, long one that we saw. My TIE fighters can pretty much kill off these smaller ships if need be. So that is good that we have that here. Now we just got to get these hacked ships unhacked. Now your gunships have fire missiles. Reload time is approximately 1 turn as compared to your adamants, which is longer. So your Rangers, which are your gunships, can really help the outcome.
So say we all.
They can usually only take 3 volleys.
Understood.
Hacking really, they didn't get in enough hacking, so we're good there. And we're going to see how this turn plays out. Gunship. Unfortunately, don't have a fleet to send it to. Oh, wait a minute. Yes, we do. Let's send it to join with that. Oops. Jump. Starlings. That's where we want it to go. So we can join it there. Now see, we have 2 that are ready to drop out. This is the first time I have yet to have one member of the quorum drop out. Oh wait, do I have one there? Yeah, get it out of there. What is that? That is beta. I have one beta. Get it out of there. Do we have enough fleet points? We only have 240 red points. Fleet. And we are going to continue here. Oh wait, I didn't want to postpone. Oh well. That's fine. We will... combine that fleet. That one. Now we'll join these two fleets. And now we will jump that fleet. Oh, I'm so afraid of that. That's going to kick our ass. Well, let's do it. Start off with Fleet 96 and see how we do there.
Prepared to jump in 3, 2, 1.
Where are they? Ooh. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 to... We're gonna make like we're running.
Yes, Commander. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Viper. So part of the reason why I'm making like I'm running here is so that my ships can get there, ID them, we can get a round of volleyed off of, a round of missiles off before having to really attack, hopefully knock one or two of their ships out of the fight before we even get there.
Yes, sir. Yes, Commander. Understood. Yes, Commander. IFF confirms unit is hostile.
Yeah, two ships blow up before they even get, so we got a better chance. Alright. So,
Yes, Commander.
we're going to try to take that one out. We'll let my adamants do the firing situations since it takes them longer to get the missiles back. Now we're going to send 4 volleys just through it. Now we're going to send 4 volleys just to be safe. Right there.
Yes,
That
Commander.
should take him out. So we're going to tell our ships to attack this one.
Missiles incoming!
Okay, so, well, that was a wasted volley. So they have 3 missile ships plus that. Okay. So we're going to keep pretending that we're running. This one a little bit to the side. I'm going to try to outrun them since they have missile ships.
So say we all. On it, Commander. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So say we all.
Let the next round play out. least one more round. I really want to try to take out those missile ships before we get too caught up in it.
Understood.
Let this turn play out. And we're going to let the next turn play out to eliminate a turn of the missiles getting ready, so that when we do turn around, we'll be set to face them. So we're going to go ahead and let this play out. We'll see where we're at with damage. I believe the ship's going to take it down. Ooh, not yet. So we'll go another turn. So, I'm going to start turning my adamant around,
Yes, Commander.
or my ranger around. I'm going to fire 2 more at that front one. Try to make sure we get rid of it. Let these other ships continue. Kill the Vipers. I want them on this ship. And let's let it play out.
Understood.
Okay, next round play out.
Centurions have boarded one of our ships.
And they boarded another. Now it's time we need to end this battle quickly before they take it over.
So say we all. Yes, Commander. On it, Commander. So say we all.
Pretty good shape here if we hurry up and get these off of here. Now let's see.
Squadron target is confirmed. Yes, Commander. Understood. Yes, Commander. Understood. So say we all. Understood.
There you go. mission that we have here. And we're going to go with that setup.
Prepare to jump in 3, 2, 1. Dratus contacts. Marks a confirmed hostile.
Now, as you see, we are already, it's one-on-one, basically. So, we're going to go ahead and launch all squadrons.
Yes, Commander. Understood. On it, Commander. Yes, Commander. Yes, Commander. Adamant is taking damage.
Oh, now there's what I was talking about earlier. Make sure that your ships gotta be. Oh, we are so dead. Because it is a 3D game, you have to really think about strategy. This is a classic example of not keeping your spacing in mind. And we just pretty much have ruined this mission for us. We are down 2 of our ships already. It will be lucky if we manage to get past this. That is a classic example of what not to do.
Yes, Commander.
That's what sucks. They can launch on you, but until you identify them, you cannot launch those 2 other ships. And we're just going to continue this turn.
IFF confirms unit is hostile. Missiles incoming! Missiles on their way. Missiles on their way. Missiles on their way. Yes, Commander. Missiles on their way. Understood. Yes, Commander. Understood. IFF confirms unit is hostile. IFF confirms unit is hostile.
So... I'm gonna send these guys. After me.
Squadron target is confirmed. So say we all.
Now they've still got one more missile ship.
Yes, sir. Yes, Commander.
They got 2 missile ships. Oh shoot, they boarded my base station. That ain't good.
Yes, Commander. Yes, Commander. Missiles on their way. Yes, Commander. Centurions have boarded one of our ships. That one coming close to the base. Okay, so we got 2 more missile ships. We'll send a squadron. And then get rid of that. So say we all. So say we all. Yes, Commander. Ranger is taking damage. Squadron target is confirmed. Yes, sir. Yes, Commander. Ranger is taking damage. Understood. So say we all. Ranger is taking damage. Yes, sir. Yes, Commander. Yes, Commander. Yes, sir. Yes, Commander.
Yep.
So say we all.
Let's see what they're trying to do. If they are trying to ram, they're going to ram the base station
Yes, Commander.
because they have realized they have lost the fight. Unfortunately, I do not think I'm going to be able to stop them. Oh, wait a minute. This is going to be real close. I don't think they're going to.
Squadron has gone dark.
Yes, we're able to stop.
All contacts down. Mission complete.
That could have been the difference maker right there. luckily I have ships on the assembly line, so I'll get a replacement ship right off. But there you have it. That is a hour and a half, about an hour's worth of gameplay. So there you get your first glimpse, or you get your good glimpse at what Battlestar Galactica Deadlock is all about. As I said, it is highly disappointing. Basically what you just saw that, if you get this game, what you just saw in that hour is basically what you will see hours upon hours upon hours. No big change. The missions, like you saw there, 2 different war missions. You get an escort mission, which you have X amount of turns to let the people escape. It is a fairly disappointing game. The side missions, the most you see is if you look at the bottom middle of the screen, you'll see your news feed. That just tells you where things lie within the Federation. If you rescue a planet, you get thumbs up. If you let it go to the Cylons, thumbs down, type of thing. But the story in itself, there is no real story. You have bits and pieces of maybe a paragraph long of dialogue. That's it. For a great series of television, this is a poor game that marketed basically on Battlestar Galactica fame. As you can tell, it looks like it was put together 20 years ago, 20, 30, 40 years ago, about 30 years ago when the first one came out. They just enhanced graphics. Unfortunately, in regards to will it be a classic in the future, I'm going to have to say no. I do not feel that it is going to be a classic in the future. It's not really got a lot of replay value. Once you beat it, you beat it. Having to play each and every mission to get the 500 kill trophy is a downer. Outside of the fact that the trophies are fairly easy, you got 13 for the main, you got about 5 for the skirmishes, 1 for the colonial skirmish, and 4 for the Cylon. And you got the kill trophies. There isn't a lot of play value in this as far as trophies. It's not going to be a complicated one. It's just going to be a time-consuming one, which you have to decide if you want to take the time out to play this game. Personally, I think there are better games at I believe I paid $39.99 for this. It's either $29.99 or $39.99 for this game. Not a lot of value there. It actually gets to be boring when you're trophy hunting. Let's give an example. The most recent COD game that came out, you have the single player mode, which is lengthy. You have more difficult trophies in the single player, which gives it replay value because you'll probably have to play it on a lower setting to get certain trophies. You have the multiplayer, in which each division you're in, you can prestige your division up to 4 times, which takes time. So 4 or 5 different divisions. There's a lot of replay value in that. You have the prestige level 1 in multiplayer. You can get up to prestige level 4. Just that one, getting up to that one time took me almost 2 days worth of actual full-time game time. When it broke down into hours played. So that game just came out, has a heck of a lot more replay value than this. The graphics seem kind of dated. Even the replay has errors. I don't know if you noticed when we did the replay, type sound would happen quite occasionally, which gets to be annoying. So here our decision on, and even Nina J, lost my cigarette. That's the problem with rolling room. Even Nana J, who enjoys watching me play games, said this was a boring game. So, and we're talking about somebody whose game of excitement is Bejeweled or Bingo. So to be compared boring to those two games, not pretty high up on the ranking list. So there you have it. This will be the last time I feature this game on Gaming Perspective, because as I said, it does not warrant time. It doesn't warrant me actually doing a full beginning to end playthrough, because it really doesn't have that value. I mean, you watch episode 1 and 100 missions later, mission 100, side mission 100 to get your 500 kill score, it's basically the same thing. So it's not worth doing a walkthrough here as other games are. And I don't want to devote the time on air time to this because we have limited time. So there you have our gaming perspective for the night. Tomorrow we will most likely be airing a reality gaming episode in which while I'm gaming, you get to see the interactions of the household. You get to hear the very loud 3 grandkids. You get to hear Nana J get upset at 3 loud grandkids. I think I'm going to entitle that one, I think I'm going to do a grinding one. I have Back to the Future, which I have yet to 100% on that. I've already played through it. So what I think I'll do is I'll do a grinding one on that for this reality gaming. And getting the missed trophies you may have missed. I'll talk about the trophies. There's quite a few you can get on early on, but some get missed, or you might miss one thing and just miss out on that trophy. So I'll be grinding on that. I'll charge up my iPad tonight so I have the trophy reference as we complete that. Tomorrow night's gaming perspective. As I said, we have over 41 games that we can feature. I think in order to make up the archive here on YouTube that I had going on in over on Twitch TV, I think I'll do an introduction to the newest Hitman, give my feelings on that series, and go through that one. I spent about another hour and a half playing that one, so we can look at the graphics and whatnot. I'm not sure if I'll do a walkthrough on that, since I'm already on the third mission, actually technically the 4th mission. So I'll definitely do that one because I want to take a look at that series. Monday on Gaming Perspective, I may jump into the Saints Row series. While I know there are a lot of people familiar with that, maybe you're not. I want to give some of my thoughts and perspective on the game itself. I have actually played from Saints Row 2. I did Saints Row 2, 3, and 4. So we may begin Saints Row 4, since it's the most recent one that I have on here. Well, it's the furthest back I have on here. One thing I do want to say for anybody that does watch this through and watch to the end, if you know how to stream on Yahoo PS3, if you could drop me a line or leave a comment with steps on how to do that. I have over 100 games there that I would love to feature on here. I have the entire Far Cry series on there. I have, well, up until the PS4 version, and I've got Primal and 4 on this version, and I'm wanting to get 5 this year to feature also. I have quite a few games on that system that I would love to archive here and for Game of Perspective. Like I said, be sure to check out our other broadcasts here on the channel. We do have my lifestyle broadcast in which I talk about my being transgender. I talk about raising grandkids, life in general, or being in a relationship and living with someone that's not only disabled and diabetic, but also has been recently diagnosed with memory loss, Alzheimer's. And then, of course, we have the parenting of 3 grandchildren, which can be exciting, as you'll see on Reality Gaming. But until then, I want to thank everyone that stopped in tonight and took a look at the channel, even if they were only here for a couple minutes and didn't take the time to respond. Hopefully they'll check back on the channel and check in our archives and see that we do more than just play games. Sometimes you may make a comment and I may miss it, and I apologize for that. Sometimes I get so focused on what I'm trying to do on the screen that I'm not used to that communication bar. That happened in today's episode I did for today. And well, speaking of that, I do want to highly recommend, if you are a COD player, of the newest, the World War II one that came out, I did an amendum to last night's Gaming Perspective broadcast, in which I was showing how to get the Prestige 1 and how to get the level 20 zombies, how to open the mystery crate. The information I had on some of it was wrong in regards to the Prestige. So earlier today I did a quick broadcast showing what happened when you do that. Be sure to check it out. It also shows exactly where there are 10 lanterns on the prologue, 4 downstairs, 4 upstairs, and 2 outside, that you need to get to unlock the crate. And I go through and I show you what you need to look for those. And hey, if you take that tip and you manage to get the 20 wave trophy, boiler pressure or something like that, give me, let me know. I still haven't myself got it. I get up to about 8. If you have suggestions of games that you'd like to see here, be sure to leave us a line. Be more than happy to, if we can, to take a look at those games. Like I said, I currently have over 41 games, about 50 games for PS4 that I want to look at. And then, of course, like I said, I have the archive for the PS3. But we will try, if there's a game you want to see featured on here, we'll do what we can to try to get it so we can feature it on here, and that way you guys can give us tips. Though understand we are on a limited budget at this time. We're not monetized here on the YouTube channel, and we weren't on Twitch. We weren't even close on Twitch, so that's why we came to YouTube. But the thing is you have to have 10,000 viewers before they look at you, or 10,000 views before they look at you on YouTube and consider monetizing you. And unfortunately, I've had to quit to take care of Nana J. So we'll do what we can when it comes to requests for games that you want to see featured, or you want thoughts on, or you want to have this whole discussions on. We're definitely, I check my YouTube at least once a day, usually after broadcast, before I go to bed, or if I want, like this morning I checked on it, because I wanted to make sure that we archived what we did last night, which it did, which I was very happy of. But, I definitely will respond to the people that do leave comments. Like I said, please feel free to subscribe and like the channel. That way you can keep up to date. This is a very big coverage and channel in regards to the fact, we're talking about life while I'm also talking about a gamer. I've been gaming since Pong and the Atari. So I'm a lifelong gamer who happens to be transgender, which is I deal enough with that in life, and I'm going to do little discussions on that also on the channel. But for now, I'm going to bid everyone good night, and hope you have a pleasant evening and happy gaming until tomorrow. We'll see you then.